Good morning. Can I take your order?
Can I get a tall chai?
A large black coffee.
A what?
Large black coffee.
Do you mean a venti?
No, I mean a large.
He means a venti. Yeah, the biggest one you got.
Venti is large.
No, venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
Look, Dick, venti is a large coffee.
Really? Says who? Fellini?
How much is that? Here's a 10.
Do you accept lira, or is it all
You know
euros
what? Just
now?
keep the change.
I have a small coffee. But it's number 3, maybe 4. I can't remember how many I've had.
I usually wait till midday to get my coffee. So.
Oh, Jesus Cristo.
What?
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this fine Friday?
It's raining, brother. It's raining.
Oh, you catching some of that tropical storm blowback or blow off or whatever?
Blowback, yeah, from it's the weather gods. We pissed them off with our climate change, and they're sending tornadoes now.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not like that. The tornadoes don't tear up the trailer parks anyway, right?
No, yeah. So, how you guys doing? How you doing, Justin? Is your house vacant, or what's the deal with your house? I hear noises. Is that Trey's noises?
Yeah, that's a small child. I don't have those.
Well, I mean, you have a basement though, right? I mean,
No.
That would be Hunter Biden, okay? Like Hunter Biden can do that. We can't, okay?
No, neither of these houses have basements. My old house has a basement. I'm actually
really?
So what do y'all? All right, tell me your thoughts on this. I'm.
It's definitely not a cellar. If that's what you're going to ask, I'm just going to quit the show right now.
I'm considering not renting my other house and just keeping it as like another house.
You're such a fucking fed, bro.
So I've got a renter in it right now, but I could also just not do that and have it.
That's like your podcasting studio.
Well,
Yeah.
Stephanie wants to let the stepson and his girlfriend and their.
See, I
And
would
the
put a
kids.
renter in it just to avoid that. Then I ain't even playing.
No,
Like,
she
look,
wants-
there's a lease. There's a 2-year lease on this thing. That
She
you
wants
got
to
to
put.
find someplace.
She wants to put the stepson and his girlfriend and the kids here. And if they're going to do that, then I've got to have a podcast studio somewhere. I'd rather it not be an hour away from here, but at the same time, that also gives me an excuse to, like, when I leave for the day, to especially on days that I have the kids and I have to take them to school. Once I get down there and I drop them off at school, then I can just go to my other house there and stay there for the day and not have to come back here. So it would add some convenience. I know I'm talking about like the challenges of having 3 houses. That's such a
Such a rich bourgeoisie thing to do.
sorry, a little less
Bougie.
little less blue collar than what we normally are, but
It's that white privilege.
yeah, it is white privilege. You know what? Speaking of white privilege, 10 ways colleges can diversify after affirmative action, because it's all right. So
What do they mean after affirmative action? Like it needs to go further?
Well, no, there's a current pending lawsuit that
Okay.
for that like
I thought
Harvard
there
students.
was.
Yeah, there were Asian students that were
Asian ones,
basically they were banned from Harvard.
Y'all fuck whitey, but the Asians want to get involved. They'll protect them a little bit, I guess.
no, they haven't
No,
been
they-
protected at
Yeah,
all.
No,
In
I
fact,
know.
exactly.
Well,
the Asian students have been the most discriminated against by colleges for some reason.
I know, but
Well,
I'm saying
because
that when the
they have the
Asians when
most
the Asians
students.
bring it up, then they're okay. Then they'll say, okay, we'll look at this and say maybe this is a bad idea. I'm just saying, like we get the short end of the stick again. Like, you know, just because our ancestors were living it up doesn't mean like we are. You know, we get to fall out and
I know, just
Well,
because
that's-
I've got 3 houses doesn't mean neither of y'all have.
Yeah, it's
I got a
this
shed.
those Asians doctors, like they can be able to pay for the lawsuits. That's what it is there. So you got the Asian doctors, or they own they own some business or something, so they're able to do that.
It is really funny when they talk about discrimination and pay gap and all of these, or wage gap and all of this other stuff. Never, ever, ever do they talk about Asians, because Asians make more money than anybody and have higher education than anybody. And
like I've seen more articles about like how like Asians being rich is like part of white supremacy or something like that.
It's like Mexicans voting for Republicans. This is like it's that multicultural white supremacy. That's what it is.
Really, it's just one of those damn, what's the word for them? Pyramid schemes, the multi-level marketing deal. You have the white people at the top, and we're just trying to suck in the Asians below us, and we'll bring the Mexicans, and that bottom tier, that's going to be them,
Well, and it's because
Africans,
the Asians are lighter skin color, so they're more passable, and they were brought over to like build railroads and to actually have like skilled labor type jobs, whereas the African slaves were brought over just to pick cotton and not learn how to do anything. So that's what it's all Whitey's fault.
Yeah.
When in doubt, blame us, I guess.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have anything else to fall back on, you've always got racism, and there's always a way to make it racist, even if it's not actually racist. Even if you're talking about other races other than white people, it's always going to be white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're going to ask something, Clyde. And
it really is. When it boils down to it, it's just. I'm trying to find. All right, I might have found it. Give me a second. Keep talking. Carry on.
So I thought this article was funny because like what they're gonna do is they're gonna try to circumvent all of this. Like,
can you actually pull it up? I don't have a subscription to whatever the fuck this is.
Well, I can post the link in the chat, like archive link in the chat.
You can just hit present down at the bottom and share it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sweet. I didn't know I could do that. Let's see. Present. Share screen. Let's do.
No, that's not it. Damn it.
What are you damning over there? Oh, there we go. Never mind. I got it.
I'm trying to find a tweet from Mohammed Safa.
There we go.
That guy.
There we go. I got it.
There we go.
All right. Try again.
But yeah, I thought it was funny in the article, like they're talking about like giving boosts to students who grew in disadvantaged neighborhoods, low family wealth, and all this is like there's no way that they're not going to be also discriminating based on like race, because all they're doing is justifying it is they're going to look at a name, look at the income of the family, and they're like if it's Antonio. And that they have a low income, then they're probably going to make the assumption that okay, this is a not a white individual, so then therefore we can do race-based admission in that way.
So should we just start naming our children like Antonio and Ricardo and Felipe and like all these different
yes
ethnic names? Is that what you're saying?
That's probably the best way to go about it. I do like this line from Justice Roberts, Roberts is easily the worst conservative justice like possibly in history.
I don't even consider him a conservative.
He's not. That's conservative and with quotations, just because he was appointed by Bush. Like that's the only qualification he has as conservative, as he was appointed by Bush. Like
which Bush put him in?
W, I think.
W.
Yeah. We did not fight a civil war about oboe players. We did fight a civil war to eliminate racial discrimination. Well, that's not actually why they fought the Civil War. Like, not even remotely close to being anything.
No, dude, have you ever seen like the oboe and the piccolo players like beat the shit out of each other? It's like, dude, this is for real. He's obviously this guy's never been to band camp.
Is this for real, dude? Is there actually a thing between oboe and piccolo players? Like,
I have no idea.
You look like a piccolo player.
See, I thought it was the tuba players that would start something. I mean, they're the ones that should be jacked from carrying the giant tuba.
Well, they just put it over the nerdy little piccolo player and put her in the locker and get what they can.
So what are our 10, let's see, Jetson legacy preferences? Children of alumni are disproportionately white and wealthy. Colleges like to dangle legacy preferences in front of alumni to shake them down for donations. So
it's like whenever, like, if you went to a college and then you're going to also send your children there, they're
Get a
trying to say
discount.
that.
yeah, I know. What
Yeah,
legacy is. In preference for faculty children. So staff and faculty are largely white, I guess. So we're going to stop doing that. Is that what they're saying? Is that what they're trying to say?
Maybe like staff, like the cleaning staff and stuff, but I think professors is probably fairly equal by this point. I mean, I don't know. I think it's been a big push to
Well, and some colleges it
even
may
things
be
out.
already like tipping in the other direction.
Yeah, I think so for sure. For sure. And even if they're not, the ones that are there, right, are teaching,
They're hated.
female
Like,
African studies and like, how bad the white man is. Like they're, it might as well be like
Eliminate early admissions. I don't understand how this is like. Do white students apply
Yes.
earlier?
Yes.
Also, I mean, like, look at the culture, right? Like, if you show up to a Mexican party on time, like, nobody's there, right?
Nobody
I mean,
shows
like,
up
let's
for
be
this
real
on
here.
time. What the fuck is going on here?
I thought you were gonna go a different direction with that. Talk about how when they get to work.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing,
I mean, there's
like,
the reason they call it color people time.
Yeah.
Anytime I go to either drop off or pick up my stepdaughter from her dad, it's like, so is he gonna be here at like 7:00 white people time or 7:00 colored people time? Like, how do I need to plan my day for this?
That's funny.
But I don't know. Because I think a lot of it, like, it seems like it goes back to like family, right? And your culture and like being proactive, I don't know. I don't care.
Now we're getting into the retarded stuff. Give a significant boost in admissions to low-income and first-generation students. I mean, that's the whole point of the whole reason that this thing is going to the Supreme Court is because it is discriminatory practice the way it's being implemented with the affirmative action college admissions. It's incredibly discriminatory, specifically towards Asians, but also towards white students. Like, if you're going
think
to
about
give
that, what happens in Chinese
giving a
culture if you
significant-
show up late? Back to my point, okay? Right?
Yeah,
I'm serious.
beat you with
This
they
is right?
they
Okay,
beat you with a
carry on,
cane
sorry.
pole. That's
I had to bring that up. I just realized, like, I was right. I was being a jackass, and I was like, oh.
that's why canings happen. Who was that guy that got caned back in the like 90s?
Singapore
Yeah,
for
in
spitting on a
Singapore.
sidewalk or something like that. Or
Yeah.
Malaysia, maybe. I don't
We
know.
need to bring back
Probably
that kind of stuff.
Singapore. I think it's
it was
Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah, because like Singapore's really strict on their laws. Like they will like eat every single like minor thing they'll like lash somebody or whatever.
See, like, I just blew this article up so I could actually look at it a little bit. But it seems like a lot of this, like, I don't know, man. This is where we're going, right? You're not looking at quality, right? You're looking at these other characteristics of, that have nothing to do with your intelligence or your ability to do well in school or to succeed when you get out of school. And like, here we are, we've seen, how long has affirmative action been a thing? Like 20 years?
Longer than
Probably
that.
longer.
Longer
Yeah,
than that?
probably longer.
I mean, and look where we are, right? Like, everybody has a degree, right? College is the new high school, right? Your bachelor's, like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, you get degrees in all sorts of retarded shit that don't help you. And I mean, even if you are retarded, like, you're still getting a degree. Like, you're not, you know what I mean? And there's no gatekeeping.
All right, so
I
look
don't
at
know.
this. Look at this
Sorry.
Look at this next thing. Give a boost to students who grew up in disadvantaged neighborhoods. Researchers have long found that students from disadvantaged neighborhoods face an extra obstacle in America because of housing discrimination. Neighborhoods are highly segregated by race. In fact, black middle class families tend to live in higher poverty neighborhoods than do low income whites. Colleges should use a tool created by the College Board that can provide information about an applicant's neighborhood and school environment to help identify strivers who have overcome hurdles. So, but they're not going to apply this equally across the board. They're not going to apply this to the
Little Billy coming out of the trailer park.
right, little Billy coming out of the trailer park in a town of 4,000 people where 3,500 of them are meth heads, and like
He actually
you know,
scores like he scores perfect on the ACT. It doesn't it doesn't like he might get pushed back or whatever. Like
right, his whole his whole family suffers from Mountain Dew mouth, but they're not going to give that equal weight to a middle class black kid in a poor neighborhood in a city somewhere. Like none of this is going. This is by doing the things that they list in this article for how to increase diversity. They're just going to create more discrimination. Like that's the reason that this is going before the Supreme Court to begin with, is because the way affirmative action has been applied, it is incredibly discriminatory. It is like it's accomplished what they wanted it to, but then it's gone like steps too far in that it's become discriminatory in the other direction.
Honestly, I think the colleges are not exclusive enough. Like they're actually letting a lot of people in that don't need to go in, and that's why a lot of them used to fail. But now what they'll do is, instead of failing them, they just let them go, like you said, into an easy major where like they get a degree, but it means nothing because either the field is too big because or it's just like gender studies and like
Or unnecessary. What do you
Yeah.
think about it? I mean, like the college is still like, would you rather, kick somebody out and lose that income, or would you rather keep them there and keep sucking their money, keep getting that paycheck from them? You know what I mean?
And of course, there's the number 10, got to make it on every list. Increase financial aid. So we just need to give more money, give more money to these impoverished students so that we can get them in here and put them on the hook for literally the rest of their life to the federal government for all of these student loans.
If you go to college right now and you're taking out massive student loans, if you didn't learn anything from watching the last 10 years, like I don't know, man, you deserve it. Like, I'm sorry. Just I don't know.
I think it's like the whole thing about it is so weird because what they're trying to do is trying to dilute it, and I think that like you said, it doesn't become a meritocracy anymore, and it does destroy a lot of like the fabric of like just in general the fabric of our society whenever it's like you're allowing people to fail upwards constantly. And the more that these people fail upwards, and the more that they're rewarded, the more that they're going to continue failing, and they're not going to try to succeed at all whenever you just continue rewarding the failure.
And I think it makes
like a bad incentive for it,
and it makes failure, grow exponentially. You know what I mean? Like there's no positive growth in a lot of things, right? It makes it harder for businesses to succeed when like their pools are even more limited as to candidates that they can pull from, right? Like you got a bunch of tards you got to pull from. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, nothing is actually merit-based or anything anymore. It's like there are all of these boxes that you have to check, and as long as you check all of the boxes, then you can look at merit and everything else after the fact. But it's speaking of failure, looks like there's a certain segment of society that's now experiencing some failures that they hadn't been used to previously. Attractive female students no longer earned higher grades when classes moved online during COVID-19. They couldn't earn that grade,
Yeah, I believe it. I mean,
look, the teacher didn't see the the cleavage through the webcam. Like they probably should have exposed a little bit more.
Obviously, that's the problem. I mean, look at this chick. She is not wearing a nearly low enough cut top. How is anybody in the Google Classroom supposed to know that she's actually well endowed? I think that's.
Is she? I mean, like, I don't know. I think she's cute enough. She'd get a good grade in my class.
You think so?
I give it to her. Yeah. Like
No, the
glasses
camera.
and ponytails.
Claude is part of he is a fan of the itty bitty titty committee.
The camera adds 10 pounds, they say, so maybe that's what it was. All these chicks look fat on the.
So do you think, like, if they continue with online classes, eating disorders will increase then? You got to lose that 10 pounds somewhere, right? I mean,
Oh my god! I don't think that's what this article says, but
That would be an interesting data point to see for sure.
new
How much more
psychology
anorexia?
New psychology
Actually,
findings suggest that
I did
attractive
see.
students
Sorry.
earn higher grades in school, but for female students, this beauty premium disappears when classes are taught remotely. The findings were published in the journal Economic Letters. This is pretty impressive.
so what are they suggesting? Because I feel like, this is one of those things where you don't see the attributes of the person, and it's more of a quality, right? Like, and so your quality is lower, so you're going to get a lower grade. And like, based on the, thing about the article we were just talking about, where it's like, no, we need to see all these things, right? You need to consider what they look like.
So one account suggests that the beauty advantage can be explained by discrimination. For example, employers may inherently favor attractive over unattractive workers. Another perspective suggests that beauty is a productivity enhancing attribute. This view suggests that attractiveness lends itself to higher productivity, for example, through increased self-confidence. I'm interested in discrimination in general, he said Adrian Mayak, a graduate student at Lund University and the author of the new study. In economics research, lots of attention is given to discrimination based on gender and race. While these are important issues, there's not been much research on beauty-based discrimination in the educational setting. So the paper fills the gaps there. So they're using it as kind of a research study to look at discrimination and how physical attributes and like attractiveness.
How do they gauge attractiveness? That's what I'm curious about as well. I mean,
So I
is
guess
there a scale? Is there
I must have been really handsome if I got all straight A's. That's what they're telling me here. That's why I got straight A's.
You wore the short shorts and just let it dangle.
Not you specifically, but it does say, for example, attractive people tend to earn more money and report a higher life satisfaction than less attractive people. I mean, I guess that's a subjective thing, but then at the same time, like there's probably
Somewhat
more
true.
questions that go into it. Like, do you consider yourself to be attractive? And
Yeah, that's true. How much is like the self-confidence thing, right?
yeah, like you're a semi-tard, but are you semi-attractive as well, or?
I mean, that's it.
He's got male pattern baldness, so
yeah, embrace your. I didn't before, but
I mean, Clyde
your characteristics.
Clyde oozes sexual energy. That's why we keep him on the show. We gotta have that around.
That's the only reason I got this far in life. That's why. Never mind. I won't say anything else. Story for another day, off air. I don't know, man. Like it's one of those things. I guess just pretty people do better. And just leave it at that. Move along. You got to work harder if you're fugly. Just deal with it.
Let's see. The pandemic made discrimination based on appearance much more difficult since teachers cannot readily see students' faces. But discrimination on, for instance, gender is possible in an online setting as long as you have the names of the students. So just don't name just don't name your son something gay like Ashley or Courtney. Give them like good manly names, and then you don't have to worry about your kid being.
Name them pretty names so that then they do better, right?
Well, I guess it depends if it's a male or a female professor.
Teacher, yeah.
I guess. Depends what they're into.
The door might swing both ways.
So you got to go with those ambiguous names like Ashley. Just like Justin said, don't. I think you have to. Like, I can go both ways. What you need, Doc?
This is interesting. According to the study, these findings suggest that discrimination most likely explains the beauty premium for female students who no longer had higher grades when classes turned remote. But for male students who continued to see higher grades with attractiveness, even when student-teacher interaction was low, beauty seems to be a productivity-enhancing attribute. So female students got worse grade, or attractive female students got worse grades because they weren't getting the attractiveness bump on their grades, whereas attractive male students were still getting high grades because apparently it's if you're a good-looking dude, you probably have a good work ethic. Whereas if you're a good-looking female, you probably rely on your looks to carry you, and your work ethic suffers. That's what I'm taking from that.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Men are just harder workers, better, more capable than women, apparently. But we need that, so. I was gonna say something about that, and I totally forgot.
Now, Stephen, the attractive ones don't have to suck. It's the unattractive ones, like Kamala. They're the ones who have to do the suck. Speaking of unattractive supposed,
I thought we were going to talk about sucking for some reason.
supposedly female political figures. Michelle Obama, 58, details struggles with menopause, revealing she's suffering hot flashes and slow creep weight gain. The first lady said
slow creep,
given up on maintaining her famously toned arms in favor of staying fit enough. So that midlife
put the ice cream down.
That dad bod starting to set in, and she's giving up the ghost and just going to accept it. I mean, that's where I am too.
I thought I saw a recent picture of her with by Barack, and she had like massive shoulders
from behind,
like
right?
Yeah,
picture from behind. Yeah.
It looks like she has massive shoulders, so it's like
look like a linebacker, man. It's like, yeah. I don't know. Do you think they're just gonna keep playing this like she's a woman card? Or is this more like you can't deny men that have their periods, so like we can't deny them menopause as well? Like, we can all have periods, we can all have menopause. Where's the always commercial for this, right?
Yeah.
Or was it Dove? Who did it? One of them did it. Somebody did it.
So okay, I have a question. And y'all probably don't know the answer because I don't think either of you are part of this, but community. But what do the trans women who still have their penises do with the tampons? Like, are they just sticking them up their butt or what? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like,
you remember
there was a problem
right?
There was literally a problem during COVID where there was a tampon shortage because trans women who are not women and do not have periods, I don't give a fuck what they say, these dudes are not bleeding from their dicks, and if they are, then that's like there's other problems going on there. And if they're bleeding from their asshole, it's probably because they're taking so much dick. So, like, either way, you're not sticking a tampon in either one of those holes, right? Like, there was other things going on. So, but there was a shortage, and they were specifically asking only biological women should be taking tampons from the tampon dispensers in the bathrooms. Like, what are these dudes doing with the tampons?
That's transphobic.
What are they doing?
It's all for show. It's all for show.
But like, why?
You remember when Jimmy Kimmel did the man-pon commercial, right? You remember that?
No.
Oh, are you? All right.
Oh, hell. Now he's in research mode.
Maybe they're just putting it in their nose. They're giving themselves bloody noses and putting it up their nose. I mean, that's what we used to do.
But I mean, okay, but they cut themselves. But what are they doing with the tampon? That still doesn't explain. Like, I know, I know trans people cut themselves. That's how they end up killing themselves often. Like, I already knew about that, Stephen. But what are they doing with the tampon? That's still not answering my question. See, I knew y'all wouldn't have an answer to this either. I'm just like, I'm gonna have to put this on Twitter, and
You need
then
to
I'm
get
gonna
the
get
real
all the wrong.
answers.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the wrong answers or responses to that. It's gonna. Speaking of that, while Clyde looks up some Jimmy Kimmel thing, speaking of the trans folks and all of that sort of stuff, the Tennessee GOP files a
There, I
bill to
shared it.
ban
Can you see
drag
it?
performances in public spaces. No, I'm
Can
looking
you
at
see
this
it?
article. Oh, there it is.
Oh, well, there it is. You guys don't remember this?
Hey, buddy,
Hit play and
you
blow
are
it up.
sweating your ass off. I know it's hot. No, I mean you're really sweating from the ass. I'm so ashamed. Don't worry, pal. You just need a little help back there. This is my secret. Mango? Sure. Try it. It's like a cool spring breeze blowing through your ass cheeks. At this point, I'll try anything.
Posterior perspiration is an embarrassing problem that can leave you feeling less than fresh. Man ponds. Squeeze discreetly between your cheeks like a hot dog in a bun. Super dry man ponds whip away moisture to get your crack back on track, so you can be where the action is.
Oh, nice job.
Hey, Jimmy, you look great. Did you get a haircut or something?
Yeah, I got a haircut. Thanks, buddy. Hey, don't thank me. Thank Man Pond.
Oh my god, that's perfect.
I mean, you know.
What happened? Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla were so
I know.
good, and then Carolla
I know.
continued to be good, and Kimmel just went off the he got hit with the woke stick and never recovered.
Kimmel was probably too broke. He had to. He was like, well, you know, I gotta get a little bit more here. So suck up.
Let's see. So back to
Sorry, I had to.
Tennessee-
Yeah.
I had to deal with your personal man pawn.
Oh, no, I meant I had to share the video.
Oh yeah. Well, you muted yourself, and we're talking to your wife, I guess. Tennessee GOP files bill to ban drag performances in public spaces, and probably why so many people are moving from big places like New York and California to Tennessee. Let's see.
Yeah, Tennessee's been the best on this so far. They're actually trying to honestly, every other state should follow suit, like banning these performances in public and stuff like that.
Tennessee Senate Majority Leader Jack Johnson, a Republican, has introduced legislation to prohibit drag entertainers from performing on public property or at private functions where their performance may be viewed by a minor. Johnson's bill would amend a state law preventing adult-oriented businesses like strip clubs from operating within 1,000 feet of a school, public park, or places of worship to include adult cabaret performances, including those of exotic dancers and male or female impersonators. I don't want to ban a theater company from doing production of Miss Doubtfire in a public park, Johnson said. Most people have seen that movie where Robin Williams was dressing up as a woman. We don't have an issue with that. We do have an issue with men dressed as women simulating sex acts in public parks in front of kids. And it seems pretty straightforward. Of course, that'll be he'll be a bigot as far as the left is concerned.
What's a sex act? I mean, you know, can you really define that in today's world? I mean,
what is?
I mean,
sex?
we were talking about people getting off on music the other day.
What's the definition of is?
Surreal. Right?
What is a woman? You know, what is a man? We have to ask these questions. Everything has to be clearly defined. If you can't define it clearly, then you know, obviously, you're a bigot, and so you just need to shut up.
Well, but see, then that's the problem, is because the left won't define anything. There is no vaccine
They don't have to.
can't be defined. A woman can't be defined. Man can't be defined.
Well, because I think they can, but they know if they don't define it, right, it leaves it up in the air. It's ambiguous, and they can do whatever they want, right? I mean, like there's no line. I think it's interesting when you guys mentioned, I don't know, moving to Tennessee or something, but like you think about that and you look at the election results in Florida, right, and how bad DeSantis like crushed people, and how you would think that some of these like lockdown friendly states, like you'd see some pushback, and you're not. And you got to wonder how many people are actually moving to some of these more red states, some of these places where they actually did, and what that's going to do, how that's going to affect like elections in the future.
Well,
How often do they redraw electoral maps or the electoral like college, like the votes?
You got to get the census, so it's after every census.
It's every 10 years.
So we're screwed for a couple of years, huh?
Yeah.
Well, so Trey, was
but like Florida,
somebody said something about like some of the reason that some of this red wave didn't necessarily materialize the way that it was expected to is because a lot of people moved from those blue states that were supposed to flip to red states. Like instead of sticking around, they said fuck this and they got out. So instead of having a red wave materialize in some of these blue states, they're going to actually probably become more blue over the next 4 to 10 years because people are getting out. I mean, it's like it's a
so is this the national
segregation, which is
national divorce coming to fruition?
Yeah, to some extent, it's the national divorce kind of organically.
It's balkanization, like really real life balkanization happening. Kind of.
Yeah, it's the Civil War that started 2 years ago, right? Is that what he said?
Who said that?
I think, but no, I think the real like what you can really attribute in those blue areas is the candidates that were going against the true blue governors and stuff like that. All these candidates, other than Lee Zeldin, which is why he outperformed so like, I think he sort of overperformed what punched above his weight class, right, in New York. The reason that Zeldin won was because he was saying, look at who locked you down, look who did all this crime stuff to you. Look who's doing all this, all these really bad things that everyone agrees is bad, like locking people down, forcing you to get a vax, forcing all this stuff on you, and that's why he was able to punch so much above his weight class, and he actually flipped a lot of seats, House seats, because he was willing to speak on that kind of stuff. Like he got on the debate stage and he's talking about like this woman forced you to get a jab, forced you to do all this kind of stuff, and I'm not going to do that. And
what does the New York State Legislature look like? Like, how does that break down? Because that's what I would be interested to see. Like,
I think they got a lot more red this time. Like, I think it got
based
much
strictly
more red.
on New York City. The governor is going to be a Democrat no matter what. Like, the city
you got the city, you got Syracuse, you got Buffalo, you got Albany, Rochester. Those are your big the big cities, of New York, and they're all blue. Everything else is red. Even I was looking at the map. Even this year, Long Island was pretty red, and usually like Nassau County, right next to Queens and Brooklyn, that'll be blue, but it wasn't. It went red. It's interesting how it all pans out.
Yeah,
I wish he could have done better. But.
I need to look at the state legislatures because that's what's going to be more important. And like, so like, yeah, the red wave kind of fizzled out, but
the other thing, like Steven, keep going.
What? The Republicans are still going to take the House, which that's kind of the more important thing out of all of this. Like the Senate. It would have been nice if they took the House and the Senate, but even if they had 51 in the Senate, that's only enough to pass certain things that are like just majority vote, which isn't anything big. Like if like the way voting in the Senate goes for most like big legitimate legislation, like to actually do something important, you have to have 60 votes in the Senate. You can't. It's not simple majority.
Right.
So
Right.
having 51 doesn't accomplish anything. Like, it doesn't matter if the Senate's a push because they can't do anything. Having the House means that a lot of the small legislation that would come out of the House is going to be drafted by Republicans and not Democrats. So you're not going to have the bullshit bills that can be passed on simple majority being drafted by Democrats and then getting pushed through the Senate. You're going to have stuff coming out of or any of the Democrat stuff that would materialize in the House. That's not going to happen anymore. The Republicans can control that. So like that's a big win. The big thing that like the Democrats were pushing on was Beto and Stacey Abrams and Charlie Crist, like going after these Republican governors in the big anti-lockdown states and trying to get them out. DeSantis won handily. Kemp won pretty handily. And Abbott absolutely annihilated Beto.
Smashed.
Like, yeah,
He
not
smashed Beto.
even remotely close. So like that was a huge slap down to the biggest names that the Democrats had going for them. And that was where they spent the most money. Like, they dumped millions upon millions into all of those campaigns and got their ass absolutely handed to them. So like, yeah, was it a red wave? No. Was it a Republican victory? Yeah. Like, there's like when you're, I think I said, my tweet was like, when your victory is, hey, look, we didn't get completely annihilated. Like, good for you. Like, we thought we were going to lose.
Yeah, wait.
We thought we were going to lose
Wait
by
2
50.
years.
We only lost by 10. Like,
Pull
an
up
L
the
is
screen
still
I
an
just
L.
shared.
I see it. I'm getting to it, Dick.
Okay. All right. That's the House. That's the New York State House.
Oh, wow.
I think it was, but look at that. Okay, look at that. And then I think it's what they say, 14. All right, so I think there's 14 and 10. I think they said the numbers were like 14 went to Democrats. That blue, that little bit of blue is 14. See, what did it do statewide? I don't know.
That's fucking insane.
But I mean, that's what it's so hard, like those little blue areas are enough to flip that crap over. All right, so there's your state legislator. So it is blue. But anyway.
But GOP did make gains, it looks like, though. So, I mean, because it was like heavily majority, I believe, from the last time.
But here's the thing, and Steven said it earlier. Look what Florida did. They stopped all the bullshit with drop boxes and other stuff. And I think New York is one of those places where you can just go and sign your name and go ahead and vote. And so what does that mean? For these places where there's huge numbers of people, like the city, and there's no way to verify like whether you voted or whether you voted for someone else, or what I mean. You just sign your name, like, okay. I think you see that across the board, the whole country. It's just the places where
well, the ballot harvesting too. Like, you got to think about like the fact that what Democrats do and what Republicans don't do is Democrats will send their operatives to like their guys to nursing homes and say, hey, old retiree, we'll help you fill out your ballot right here, and here's your ballot. We'll fill it out for you. It'll be all Democrat, or they'll tell them that it's going to be Republican, and they vote all Democrat for them, and then they just bring all of those ballots back to the office, and they drop them off, and they say, hey, here, we collected these ballots and we're turning them in to the election office or whatever. And that's just they're just better at that. Like,
yeah, and I think if you look
until
at
you ban that, like, you got to ban that.
The places that did, right? The places that had more restrictive voting measures this go round, I think stayed red or went red, right? Like they were leaning and they stayed that way. The ones that didn't, you see these big blue turnouts, and it's kind of like, it's all circumstantial, but at the same time,
seems really
they
convenient.
just cheat better. I guess. What else?
They
What else
keep
we
the,
got
they
today,
keep the
Justin?
printers going. Like they keep the printers going so they can be able to find more.
Well, it kind of. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. Like, there will never be another election that anybody has any faith in again. Like, it's
Well,
just a
what's
matter of
interesting
time.
is like, why does anybody have faith in elections? Why did anybody? I mean, like, is it because of technology now we're able to see it easier? You spot it easier?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you go back and look at JFK and Nixon. I mean, like, that was the first time I think in recent history that we really saw it,
Well, it's when you can see when you can see the election results in real time, when you can see all of the stuff happening in real time. That definitely weighs into how people are thinking about it, because before you could just say, okay, well, I went to vote, I cast my vote, and I'm going to hear from the news in the morning. The news agency I'm going to get from the newspaper or from the TV is going to tell me who won last night and why they won, and all this. They're going to break down all this stuff for me. When now it's other people that are saying, hey, like, look, I saw this truck pulling in with a bunch of ballots at random hours of the night. I saw all this kind of stuff, and people are like, okay, well, this is raising questions of like, okay, well, what exactly is going on with this process? And people just all of a sudden start having doubts because they can see some of this stuff happening in real time.
Yeah. Just scrap it. Scrap the whole system. What other fun topics do we have today, Justin? You look very serious right now.
I'll tell y'all after the show why I had a serious look on my face. AOC says she feels in danger.
I thought you found some article.
No. AOC feels in danger because Alex Stein is going to harass her on the steps of Congress.
Is it? It's white men. She's afraid of white men still.
Yeah. AOC
After being
said
colonized
she
by one, you
absolutely
think she'd be okay with
has
it?
felt her life is in danger since joining Congress, and with her head always on a swivel when she's in public amid the nation's charged political environment. It's a very
She's
real
afraid somebody's going to
dynamic.
throw a White Claw at her and expect her to chug it.
It's a very real dynamic, and very unfortunately and tragically, we've seen political violence play out. Yeah, we've seen lots of political violence play out exclusively against right-wingers. I'm still waiting. Has anybody found the examples of left-wingers being attacked by right-wing activists? I'm still waiting for somebody to show me.
I mean, January
Look,
6th
the Proud
was
Boys.
all that, I mean, that just was an attack on the leftists. I mean,
I actually think that honestly weighed into the election, like the whole January 6th. Even though I think a lot of people think didn't matter, but like the fact that
it's in the back of your mind. I mean, that's in your the public zeitgeist of whether you believe it or not, it's there. I mean, we all know, like,
Hang on. I got
unicorns and
the best line
Bigfoot aren't real, but like it's there, and you can't help but wonder, maybe it is there.
I got the best line in the article. AOC says, "I don't want to take the time I have for granted. I don't know if I'm going to be there to see us achieve guaranteed health care in the United States. So I need to advocate it in a very full-throated way right now."
She didn't say full-throated. She didn't say full-throated. Did she really?
Full-throated. Yes. There it is.
Let me
zoom. Fully throated. There you go. Right there.
I want to, like, we just talked about how college students get better grades for being more attractive. I wonder if, we just put paper bags over all our politicians' heads when they did debates and stuff, if we'd have better people in the. I mean, you couldn't hide Shrek's head there. You still have a lump hanging out his neck, but
I thought it was Igor. I thought he was Igor.
Igor. Yeah, I guess that's closer.
He's kind of got an Uncle Fester look going too.
He does. Dude, somebody posted a picture of, it was like him and his wife, and then below it was Fester and was it not Elvira? Was it Elvira? What's the Addams family's wife's name? Wednesday? No, that was the daughter.
No,
No, Wednesday's the little one.
Yeah,
little
Wednesday's the
girl.
daughter. It's
God, but it was perfect. It was like identical. It was like
Morticia.
Morticia. It was insane, dude. It was like, oh my gosh, like here we are.
Well, somebody
You've
posted a
done it.
picture of Ludo and Jennifer Connelly from The Labyrinth. That was pretty funny.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
even seen that.
He looks like he would be in one of those vans, like handing out free candy.
Mhm. He's in the back of the bang bus.
I mean, look, we get at least 4 years. I mean, assuming he doesn't die, we get at least 4 years of this dude. So like, this is going to work out really well for this show. We can probably keep this show going for the next 4 years just off of that alone.
Isn't he
Like-
jabbed though? Like we might have a timeline of 2 years. So
No, I think I mean, I don't think all the jabs were bad. I think there was probably some that were okay, and they knew who to give those to in different batches and just saline
yes,
solution.
YouTube
Yeah.
overlords. We're not saying that anything happens.
I forgot we were back on YouTube. Oops.
Yeah, I mean,
No, you said the
time
correct
being,
thing that you wanted you to say. So I think we're in the clear.
Was Fetterman like once young, thin, and attractive? Like,
you
or something?
know,
Like,
I'm
how did
sure
he
he
pull
was
that?
I'm sure he was once young. I just looking at the pictures, I doubt he was either of the other things, but like I'm sure he was definitely young once upon a time.
He just
Look,
like,
he's just well endowed. That's all you.
that's
can
what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Or is she just like is she some sort of witch and you know, has some sort of like
he's got a different kind of hammer, okay? Like the kind of hammer Paul Pelosi wishes.
She definitely has a witchy look to her, and she kind of gives that vibe. So you never
Well, I wonder
know.
if she just like tied her star to him because she knows it was an easy one and she's the one doing all the work, right? Like,
Yeah,
yes, I saw that,
Fetterman
Steven.
2020.
Let's hang on. Let's wrap the week up on some football talk since you know we don't talk a whole lot of football around here. Let's see, how many
better
beers
that way.
to get with each
Dude.
NFL quarterback as a woman.
This was enjoyable.
I thought they overestimated some and underestimated some.
I
some
agree.
of them.
Like
See, I don't know what they look like as dudes, so I'm kind of like,
so
know,
like
but-
Morgan Stafford here. That's Matt Stafford.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Basically like that with short hair. So like for me, it might be a few more than 2 beers, just because that's not a huge difference.
That jaw.
Well, the thing is, like,
manly
if you
jaw.
don't know,
Yeah,
you just
that's like
you don't know what they look like in the first
that's
place.
superhero jaw. Like Patricia Mahomes, never. Like
Yeah, no, never.
I don't even know what the fuck's going on there.
She probably wouldn't tag you anyway, dude. Out there looking for the box, but you know.
Zara Wilson, yeah, I agree with the assessment on that one. Let's see.
She's the same as Megan Stafford for me. I don't know. Is that one of the Kardashians?
No.
Tanya Brady, yeah. This is funny. His assessment: Tanya Brady, sober. Jill Burrow, absolutely sober. Jenny Garoppolo, 1,000% sober. and then Aaron Rodgers, blackout drunk. She looks like a friend of like one of my mom's friends. Like
Yeah. I was gonna say this. I feel like this is highly ageist right now.
Karen with long hair.
oh gosh, we got to get the. I thought the.
See, I thought Deshauna Watson was like a young Michelle Obama.
I can see that.
I just,
The Kristen Cousins, that is 100% Kirk with long hair. Like even more so than the Matt Stafford one. Like that's nothing changed on that one. They just added long hair to Kirk Cousins' face.
The Justina Fields or whatever.
Gotta
That's
check
like
the ID. That looks kind of like one of the young Obama, the Obama daughters when they were young. Are we saying all black people look the same? Probably.
I was gonna say we need to be careful, dude. There's one more. There's one more.
There's a part two. Part two.
Well, give me a second. I gotta pull it up.
Yeah, push something down, pull something up.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. It's not that serious. Here we go. All right. I feel like Josephine Allen looks kind of like what's that chick's name?
The eyes scare me on a lot of these.
What's the chick that it was in the movie She's the Man, and she was in a bunch of other stuff. She ended up like getting out of show business because she went crazy.
Oh, God, I know who you're talking about.
Amy Schumer.
No.
Amanda
Amanda Bynes.
Bynes.
Yeah, Josephine Allen's.
Amanda Bynes.
Josephine Allen looks like Amanda Bynes, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but okay.
She was a like a teen star back in like the 90s.
I don't know.
I disagree on the Justina Herbert. I don't know why.
You don't think she could beat you up?
No, well, not that or the other assessment. I actually think there would be much
4 beers. Yeah, like one or two. She's cute.
Yeah.
Gina Smith is just Sierra wearing Russell's old uniform. Jaylene Hurts, MILF material, 2 beers. And isn't that kind of sad that that Jalen Hurts is, like young, but the female Jalen Hurts looks like a MILF.
Older.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The kids couldn't. I mean, she had to be older than that. I don't know. Anyway.
The first one never.
No.
The first 2 just never. Well, actually, the first 3 just never.
Yeah.
No.
And I disagree with the Tia assessment too. It's actually lower. I think that would be.
Yeah, it's like never.
Yeah, 10 beer. Like, I mean, what's her name there? Rogers was blackout drunk. Like, I feel like Marsha would
Mariota
be
is also blackout
drunk. Like,
that's a very manly gullet there.
Oh, just everything. I just can't. The teeth do it.
But Dania Dimes, which is Daniel Jones, the Giants quarterback, that kind of a butchy look. But yeah, I mean, I would agree with 8 beers. Like if I'm,
it's a big neck.
Yeah, if nobody else is going home with me at the end of the night, then I'll take it. Definitely not Lamar Jackson. That's terrible.
She's the one that beat you up.
That's the one that beat you up.
It's just Lamar with a wig. That's what we should have said that too on that one.
I just want to zoom in on Trevor Lawrence as a female because this is it doesn't work that way. Damn it, I forgot.
Yeah, I hate that.
I don't think they changed. It says they edited it, but I don't.
It said yes, this pic is edited. You're like, okay, the only thing you edited
they cropped the hair.
Yeah, they cropped the hair.
I think that's it. I think his hair is longer.
Because his hair is usually longer than that.
Yeah.
That's just Trevor Lawrence. Like they didn't even change anything. What about Derek Carr? 41 beers. I mean, like she definitely looks like she would slash your tires. So like maybe that's where that's coming from.
I mean, I'm not to get blackout drunk. It's going to be less than 41 beers. So I feel like that should be lower. Like if Aaron Rodgers is blackout, like I mean, she's got to be lower than that.
Yeah,
just saying. Yeah.
I agree with
like I said, like she looks like she would probably slash her tires, but other than that, I mean, my own wife will do that. So it's like obviously I don't have any qualms with that.
That's why you walk to the bar.
That's right.
And I think Dakota Prescott there also would need ID. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, probably so. And like
just in case.
Macy Jones looks like my niece, so I'm just gonna have to pass on that one.
So they've already done that.
Oh, that sounds pretty retarded.
Oh fuck! I wasn't ready. Damn it. I didn't realize it was
Well, I
time.
guess then you were retarded.
Yeah, I am retarded. Hang on. Fuck.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.